First procedure is done. On the way home now. I get to have it done all over again in 4 to 6 weeks because the results were inconclusive and I need to follow a stricter diet prior to the next one. I am extremely irritated because I thought that by February I'd be in the clear as far as surgeries and stuff go. Sorry, I'm still coming out of the anesthesia. So yeah, it's super nice, but I'm super annoyed. I have to do this all over again, and it's like this is just a freaking nightmare that never ends. Like, it just never stops. I have the pulmonary doctor appointment tomorrow. We'll see what roller coaster that entails. I don't know. So, very irritated, just extremely pissed off, if I'm being honest. And any surgical procedures from now on, I'm just going to have a liquid diet the day before. Because, yeah. That's the update. Going home. Hopefully going to sleep if I can de-stress enough from being extremely aggravated that I have to go through this entire thing again. Not just from a inconvenience standpoint, but from like a billing standpoint. I have to pay for this procedure twice now, and Lord knows what insurance may or may not cover. So looking like February will not be I can finally get back to doing the shit that I've not been able to do, or what. I don't know. I'm rambling, I guess. I don't know. Also, same drive, still here. Forgot to add, we sat in the waiting room for almost an hour, to the point that I not only was getting irritated with that, but I was like, did I come on the wrong day? Turns out, the day that the appointment was scheduled for me just happened to be their cataract surgery day, and there was a slew of people in the waiting room. So we had to wait and wait and wait and wait. They were short on beds because they had so many people scheduled for cataract surgery stuff. So if you ever doubt that I'm cursed in every single way, the day that I was scheduled for this was just so happened to be the cataract surgery day. So when I come back to reschedule this GD appointment, I'll ask, like, is it not cataract surgery day? Because yeah. Hey everyone, here is an update since the last video. I have scheduled the redo surgery. That'll be in about 3 weeks, the redo. I will have to have nothing but liquids, like broth and, no coffee, for 2 days prior this time. I've had to push back the follow-up with the GI, the gastro doctor, for 2 weeks after that. So those will both be in February. Yeah. It never ends. I had an appointment this morning with the pulmonologist, and that was okay. It is kind of par for the course. Another doctor who spoke in broken English and really didn't understand what I was saying. But I just have to accept that this is just how it's going to be sometimes with certain doctors, and to try and make the best of it. He really didn't understand what I was trying to say, and trying to correlate sorry if you can hear the traffic, I am downstairs at the moment. Anyway, yeah, he really wasn't following what I was saying as far as trying to link the constant asthma feeling with a constant like brain fog and lightheadedness. Because my worry is that with this asthma, like, it feels like someone's sitting on my chest at all times, in addition to the throat stuff, in addition to everything else that's going on with me. But if you can't get oxygen in your lungs, you're not getting oxygen everywhere else. So, I'm trying to problem solve. I'm trying to do their job, but it's my body, so I experience it. Obviously they don't, so I understand that. So came out of that one with more medication. He wants me to take a stronger blood pressure medicine because the one that they have me on, the valsartan, clearly isn't working. But he wants me to take them both at the same, not the same time, but like take them both in conjunction. Like one when I wake up, one when I go to bed, something like that. He has prescribed for me a stronger inhaler in addition to another albuterol one. I'm supposed to take the stronger inhaler every 4 hours for 2 weeks. I'll have to read, like, there's so much information he was throwing at me. I have scheduled a CAT scan for my chest, as well as what's called a PFT, which is some kind of breathing test. That is in about a week and a half or so here in town, thankfully, so no traveling far for that one. And they're both on the same day, back to back, in the morning. And on top of all of that, I have to go in the morning, like when it's morning, when Justin gets off work, to have another round of blood work done. So I'm not sure what they're measuring for this time. I know one of them, they have to take blood directly from the artery, which is supposed to be very painful. So I'm not looking forward to that at all. So that is the update. That's all the new stuff. Like I have new appointments made, redos made, more medication coming. I haven't gotten the inhaler or the new blood pressure medicine yet. He wants me to go to a gym, which I can't do. There's no time. Like, I don't drive. We have one car. Justin obviously takes it to work. I work from home, like when I could work, as I've been saying. I'm going to try and see what I can do at home. I have a stationary bike. I have bands, because he says I need to do stuff with the resistance to help blood flow. Like, I get where he's coming from, but I also know my limitations. And again, it's my body. He doesn't know, because I was describing stuff to him and he was just kind of like tilting his head. And I said to him, that's usually what happens. Like, all of my symptoms and stuff that's going on just don't make any sense for traditional medicine. And I keep having things that just people don't understand or can't explain. And it's incredibly frustrating. Because at least when you have like XYZ illness, you can have XYZ treatment. But when you have mystery illness, they just keep throwing darts at a dartboard hoping one will stick. And I'm not faulting them at all. Like, they're just doing their job in the parameters of what they understand medicine to be and ailments. But I have a lot of shit going on with me. And I would love to just get rid of the asthma symptoms that are constant, like all the time. In addition to the freaking just head stuff, the brain fog, and the what's the word I'm looking for? Just the constant wooziness. So that's the update. I'm gonna go upstairs and have my coffee and try and take my mind off of yet another round of blood work and more stuff, more appointments. I can't think of the word appointments. More appointments, more stuff. If this all comes back okay, like the blood work is fine, and the CAT scan is fine, and my breathing according to them seems fine. The only other option I can think of, as I said in the last video, the last like uploaded video, is that's the house. Like, whatever's going on in the basement is making me sick. That's the only thing I can think of. But Justin's not having symptoms other than the brain fog stuff and being forgetful. But nothing else is happening to him. And I tried telling the pulmonologist that I'm scared that when I had COVID a couple years back, that it has slowly been doing something here and it's just manifesting. That's what he was having a hard time grasping, that like it comes and goes, but it comes from here. When I cough or sneeze, I get those smells and everything just feels like it's on steroids. Everything feels inflamed when it happens. Like it's like that. But that doesn't make, like, COVID is so damn new and the symptoms are so damn varied that, you know, I hate being a guinea pig for something that I had no control over, you know? You try and eat right and stay as healthy as possible within your, like, you know, limitations, and then you still get fucked, you know? No one else I know was hit this hard by COVID. So, I don't want to be like, why me? Poor me. I'm not trying to be that. It's just like, it's annoying and it sucks. And there are just no answers and more tests and more everything and accruing medical debt and just, yeah. All right. I'll see you in the next one. I'm not sure when or what I'm going to update. The next major thing is coming, aside from the blood work this morning, is coming later next week when I have the pain management blocker surgery thing. One of the nurse's aides recommended that I go see somebody else. She said that she heard a lot of bad things about this pain management doctor. And I was like, yeah, I had the same thing with another pain management doctor down south. And so she gave me a name of a pain management guy that she saw in a closer town. I don't know why it was never, I guess they're trying to keep it in the Mercy umbrella. But just thought it was weird, yeah. But it's a hoop I have to jump through for the neurologist. So I'll stay with this for now, but I may contact the other office in the future and see what they can possibly do for me. All right, me and coffee are going upstairs, So I had to have 5 different labs done there. One of the labs could only, I'm sorry for the shaky camera, I'm doing this before bed. And I did not eat because of the blood work, so I'm a little more than usual. And it's probably the fridge you can hear. I do apologize. One of the labs, they said couldn't be done at like the walk-in blood work lab at the hospital. You had to call and schedule it. So I tried calling on the way home just to get it done before bed. Was on hold for about 10 minutes before someone answered. Let them know what was going on. They had to transfer me, so they did. Let them know what was going on. I had to schedule a certain lab with a certain place. They, we're like, okay, 1 second, I need to check something. Put me on hold. I was on hold for over half an hour, and my phone cut out. So I called the cardiopulmonary place directly, and I was like, hey, can you help me? I was on hold for X amount of time. My phone disconnected. The lady says, well, I'm the cardio side of cardiopulmonary. I'll need to talk to pulmonary. It's like, okay. Awesome. I was on hold for about another 15 minutes. The person that comes back was not from pulmonary or cardio. She was from scheduling again. She's like, hey, they transferred from them to me to get you scheduled. How's this date look? And I was like, okay, well, isn't that the same place that I'm having this thing called a PFT done? Yeah. Well, can I just schedule it then? I don't know. They told me to try and schedule on the 14th. What time works for you? I was like, well, I work the earliest possible. The woman doing the scheduling says, I don't know what they're trying to tell me. It says it's all booked full. And I'm just like, is there any way you can call them and be like, hey, he's having a PFT literally the next week on the 21st. Can you just do the blood work there then at the same time as that? I didn't say it like that, obviously. That's much nicer. It's just me being like, right now. She says, yes, please hold. By now we're both laughing at the situation because it's so absurd. Because it's me and everything in my life is absurd. And not easy. Like Justin said, why can't things be easy for you? And I said, I know. So then I'm on hold for another 5-10 minutes this time. She comes back, she says, well, they said they already had it scheduled on that day with the PFT. And I thought, why didn't anybody fucking tell me? I was told by the doctor I had to call and schedule it. I was told by the doctor that I just had to walk in for the blood work. Then I was told by the registration I had to call and schedule it. So I had to call and schedule something in a place that I couldn't do it for a thing that was already scheduled at the place I'm going to be in like 3 weeks or 2 weeks, whatever. It's absurd. That's the update. Blood work part 1 is done. I'll have the next more intensive one done on the same day I'm doing the PFT. Oh my God. All right, that's it. I'm going to bed. There's Justin. Hello. Looking all cute. You heard all that?
Yes.
Sounds about right for me, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See,
I'm not used to it, but I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not exaggerating now. My life is just an error of errors. All right. Hey everyone, here's another small update. It is a couple days later since the last one. Sorry if the phone is shaky. I'm doing it with my hand just to do this really quick. The tripod is downstairs. So the prescriptions came through. I get a text from the pharmacy saying that they're ready. I check it. And the total is over $250 for the 3 prescriptions. And I was like, why? So I looked it up. One of the inhalers by itself is $230. Just one inhaler. So I called the pharmacy. I stayed up until they opened and called them, and the lady on the phone was really, really nice. And I was like, hey, I explained what was going on. This is a lot of money. I can't afford it. Can you look it up and see if there's any generic version that's cheaper? She says, that is the generic version. And I said, oh my God. And I asked, well, is insurance covering anything? And she said, actually, yeah, because normally it's $410 for a fucking inhaler. I can't afford that. I can't, with or without insurance. Holy crap. $230 for an inhaler. So I left a message on voicemail at the doctor's office at the hospital. Let them know what was going on, saying, hey, I can't afford that. What options do I have? So hopefully I'll hear back tomorrow. We'll see where we go from there. And we'll just get the other two, the other albuterol inhaler and the new blood pressure medicine. So that's the update. And yeah. Hey everybody, another update. Because things just can't ever be easy. Oh my gosh, I spent the last hour and a half on the phone in various ways. So the first thing that happened is I was doing my pre-visit stuff online for my pain management thing coming up on Thursday. And I got to the end where the prepay part is, and it showed X amount of dollars, insurance covering very, very little of it, and payment due over $4,000. So I was like, oh my God. And then I couldn't finish the pre-check-in because the only three options I had were to pay the balance, to pay a certain amount, you enter an amount in, but the amount couldn't be less than the balance, or to pay the balance when I go there. I can't do any of those because I don't have $4,000. On top of it, I will have to have the same thing done in 2 weeks from Thursday. So it'll be, $4,000. It'll be $8,000. So I waited until the office opened, called. They said to call billing. So, okay. Do you have the number for billing? They gave me the number for billing. So I called billing. The person on the phone for billing was very, very nice. And she said that I shouldn't have to owe anything when I go there. And that to just ask for financial aid, like paperwork for that. So I asked her, should I do that for each one or just wait till it's all done? And then she instructed me how the financial aid works, and so that makes sense now. It's over a period of time, not for a thing, which, okay, got it. So yeah, for a few minutes there, I thought that I would have to cancel these. I'm still not super jazzed about it, especially the guy's ratings online, like the Google ratings and then the doctor ratings and stuff online for this guy are not good. And then what the nurse told me at the pulmonary place. All right, that brings us to thing number 2 that happened. And while I was on the phone the longest, if you recall, the budesonide stuff was $230 for one inhaler. And I left that message with the pulmonary department over the weekend. Well, they called back while I was on the phone forever and ever with all these other people and left a voicemail for me saying to call insurance and see if they have something called affordable formulary alternative for this particular inhaler. In plain terms, cheaper alternative. Got out the old insurance card, called the number on it, and it is an absolute nightmare of just menu labyrinth nonsense. Like, I had to hang up and call back 3 or 4 different times because it kept like the third time I was like, customer service, and then they were like, coronary department, please wait. And I'm like, what? What? I'm trying to calm down, like I'm up past my bedtime. Finally, I get through to a real person. Like, she says hello, I'm like, oh my god, a person, oh my god. And she started laughing. Because I'd been on the phone trying to get through for like 40 some minutes. The most ridiculous menu I think I've ever had to navigate through. Other than the old pain management doctor, his menu was just atrocious. Even doctors who had to call him for like paperwork and stuff, info, would say to me, he was not very easy to get to. I'm like, I know, but I don't deal with him. So, anymore. As of now. Good Lord. So I finally get the lady on the phone. Super nice. Really, really nice person. I was like, I don't know if this is the right number. Here's what's going on. I have this prescription. It is $1 bajillion. And I'm supposed to call and ask for the affordable formulary alternative. Can you please help me? And if not, send me to someone who can. Please. Thankfully, she could help me. And she did. So I had to give her the name of it. And she looked up pricing of it, and everywhere else it was $230, but at Walmart it was $4. She was nice enough to check some other alternatives for me to see what the price was, and every single one of the alternatives was more expensive, so, even at Walmart. So she says, call Walmart, ask them if they can price this prescription for you, and then see if you can have it go through there. So awesome, thank you, have a good day, goodbye. Call Walmart. And Cameron, who answered the phone, was very nice as well. Debbie was the person from the insurance. She was also very nice. So thank you, Debbie. And thank you, Cameron. So I fill the pharmacy guy in on what's going on. And he says, without the prescription being here on the screen, I can only give you the cash amount, which won't be accurate to what insurance would pay. And I just started laughing. Just like this. Just like, okay. Oh. So... I thank him, He's like, sorry I couldn't help him. I'm like, it's fine. It's me, and it's fine. So I call the pulmonary place back, and no one answers. So I leave a message basically saying, hello, I made the call that you asked me to make, and here's what happened. Boom, 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 boom. Try to summarize it as fast as possible. It took me 4 times to say. So basically the gist was, can you... Oh, my brain is just... not working. Can you run the prescription through Walmart instead of Kroger here in town? If there's an issue, call me back and I'll see what I can do. They're only open 2 days a week for like 7 hours. So if I don't get them today, I'll have to wait until Thursday to get them. That sucks. Unless they called before bed or called while I was doing this and can let me know. So as of right now, that is where we stand. I'm so far having the surgery, or not surgery, but the blocker. It is kind of a surgery. I'll be put under for it, so. The pain management procedure on Thursday, and I'll end up owing $8,000 and just pray that the financial aid gods can smile down on me and take care of it. Most of it, some of it, oh my God. And then the budesonide is in limbo. We'll see what happens. I might just go through Walmart from now on. That's so weird, right? It's just so weird. Because she checked other pharmacies too. Like CVS and Rite Aid and stuff, and they were all high except for Walmart. All right, I need to go to bed, or no, actually, I need to calm down enough to go to bed and then go to bed. It is so far past my bedtime. Okay, that's it. See you in the next update, which God knows what that'll be. Okay. All right. We are on our way to the, I forget what it's called right now, medial block pain management surgery, the first one. It is very gross outside. We were taking the long way because the roads are really nasty. We're about a half hour into the trip, and to get from where we lived to here took us about twice as long because we had to drive so slow. There was no like major highways or anything connecting the town we live in to this city, which this city is right by the interstate, which is why we don't take the interstate until we get farther north, but we're hitting it here. It's a longer but safer route. But the drive from there to here was just constant snow the entire time, and there was just a line of cars in front of and behind us. I took some video, but I'm not sure if it came out. I was gonna record a update when we left, but when I saw how bad the roads were, I didn't want to stress Justin out by talking and distracting him while driving in that. So, fingers crossed we get there safe and get back safe, and then this, whatever happens with this, I don't know. This just feels like a colossal waste of time and a colossal waste of money, considering how much this costs versus how much insurance covers. All right, I'm going to stop talking now because I haven't had anything to drink since around 1 a.m. It is about 6. My throat is very dry. And if I don't drink constantly or chew gum constantly, it starts drying out and swelling up. So, all right, that's all for now. All right, the procedure is done. It was not fun. It was way more painful than I expected it to be. We are driving back now. It's snow. So I get there, answer a bunch of questions, then you have to go put the gown on. And it was one of those, you have to get fully naked before you put the gown on, which it's so uncomfortable. So I was like, even the underwear? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh man, okay, that sucks. Okay, the road's got a little treacherous here. Yeah. So yeah, I'm begrudgingly changing out of my clothes into this gown. Walk out, the person that put me in the room is gone. So I'm just standing there, awkward as hell. And the nurse people are like, what you doing? I'm like, I don't know. That wasn't how it went down. Oh, we got more treachery. Hold on. Actually, we'll pick back up on this at a later time. I have to stay for 4 freaking hours anyway to write some kind of journal, pain journal. So I'll record this at some point, maybe when I get home. So put a pin in this one. Talk to you soon. Hello, everyone. It is later the same day as the last update. So I was going to try and record this when I got home earlier this morning, but these visits and this travel are really starting to wear me out, and there's more to come. All right, so when I left off this morning, I was talking about how I got there and they wanted me to get naked, and I wasn't down with that. But funny thing was, when I got there, she's like, well, it looks like insurance is covering this, and the balance that you owe is $4,000 and some odd whatever. Would you like to pay that? And it's like, does anyone walk in there being like, yeah, let me whip out my checkbook, or here's my debit card, and here's $4,000 for you? Like, ugh, man. So I very reluctantly changed into the gown. I was allowed to keep my socks on, but they give you like the hospital socks to put over them if you want. And so I did that. And yeah, I hate having to get full ass naked. So they take me back and put me in this bed and just start bombarding me with questions. And they all make sense, obviously. You know, they go through all my medications. Since I take so damn many of them, including 2 inhalers and this, and I don't have everything else here, and this crap over here, like all these questions, you know, have you taken blood thinners? Have you had any kind of surgeries or ailments or sickness? And there's all kinds of just slew of questions. There were 2 nurses' aides that were working with me. One was asking the questions. One was doing like the blood pressure and vitals. Like they actually take your is it EKG? Is that what it is? I don't know. Where it just shows the heartbeat. My brain is just, I have my coffee right here, but my brain is not. I got very little sleep, so my brain is even. My throat hurts so bad right now. They're asking me all these questions, and then the other nurse starts prepping for the IV, which I hate. I hate the IV. And she's like, let me see your arm. And she's like taking my hand and looking all around for veins. And I'm like, I know it's not hard to find veins on me. You can see them. Because the last one I had, about a week and a half ago, whatever, she described my veins as juicy. I don't have, like, you know, some people like don't like to hear the word moist. I don't need to hear my veins described as juicy. Like, I get it. They're prominent, which is good for them in finding a spot, but ugh. I think one of the blood work people also described my veins once as healthy. So, pick your poison. But she was she was just turning my arm around, like, we're trying to find the veins. I'm like, ma'am, they're juicy and healthy. And oh my God, like, it's my least favorite part of the pre-procedure stuff, which I'm sure it is for a lot of people, especially when you have to get a lot of them, like I have in the last year and a half. This was the absolute worst IV I have ever had. Ever, like, just ever. It hurt so much. Like, it wasn't just like those sharp pain, it was a burning, and it would not stop. And it just felt like she kept pushing and pushing and pushing. I'm just like, and the other nurse is trying to help. It's like, unclench your fist. We need you to relax your hands. Breathe. We need you to breathe. Stop holding your breath. Trying to help me through it. But in my head, I'm just like, well, no. It hurts. It sucks. Ow. And then a few minutes later, I heard her whisper off to another nurse. She thought I was out of earshot. I wasn't. And she says to her, I think I hit something. And I'm like, yeah, you did. Oh my God. So then I talked to another nurse who proceeds to ask me these same exact questions that the other one just did. And then I'm, okay. And then after that, thankfully it was over. I just took a picture of myself at the place. Justin was off in the waiting room. He didn't come back for this one. And I just waited for like 20 minutes or so for the doctor to come in. I don't know, like he's like equal parts doesn't listen, talks so fast. Like, I've been told I talk fast. I can talk fast. I used to talk really fast when I was younger. I'd go like this and then talking to people. I was really saying, I don't know. Like, I had to teach myself to slow down my speech, especially when I moved down south with my ex way back in the day when we moved to Louisiana. No one could understand me, so I had to teach myself how to talk slower. So he's like those two things, and then he's just very kind of dismissive, and you feel kind of almost like what's the word I'm looking for? Just like cattle, just like take a number next, take a number next, take a number next. I'm not saying every doctor has to be super make you feel like you're the most important being on the planet. It's like he's thinking about the next 4 things he has to do while trying to focus on you. And I get multitasking. I do that to the best of my ability now that my brain is slowly going. I hate to be like, he has a vibe, but he does. He just has this really, 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 really weird vibe about him. Not comfortable vibe. But the fact that he was talking about skeletal stuff with me, even then, he's like, we looked at your MRI and just going on these medical terms. And again, in my head, I'm thinking, it's not skeletal, it's muscular. I told you that. I didn't say this, obviously, but I was just like, I told you in graphic, great detail. So, I get back to the operating room. The lady who wheeled me back there looked like she hated her job. Like, good. She just stood there just like, while waiting. So, alright, fair play. They wheel you in, and you have to get on this other bed thing, and there is a headrest on the top of it, and you have to kind of just like roll yourself. And I am very brittle, and I have very limited range of motion and stuff. My body, my spine and neck and everything pops easily. I have to be very careful on how I move and what I do. If I had to teach myself how to remove and remaneuver myself. And so I had to kind of like gingerly, get off of the gurney thing I was on onto this other bed. You have to lay face down with your head in this thing. But my thing was, okay, I have to do this as carefully as possible. And they were really cool about it. They were really nice. And they were trying to help me. But also, I'm butt-ass naked. So I'm trying to like move, but also like cover up back here where the gown isn't tied all the way, and I'm like, I'm sure they've seen some naked booty before, but it's my naked booty, and no one wants to see that except for maybe Justin. And uncomfortable, man. And also I had that painful IV, so I had to like carefully maneuver while trying not to rip this out of my hand. So I had that going on too with the IV. So eventually I get laying face down, and I'm like, where do I put my hands? Put them up here. Okay, this is comfortable for me. Okay, well, this, like, having my hands up here when I'm laying face down is much more comfortable for me. So I had my head in this thing, IV, ow, everything's just like, I'm just like, holy crap, this is really uncomfortable. And they were like, we need you to lift your head and tuck your chin and lay back down. So I did that, but then you have this pressure pushing, and it's just making everything tense, because what muscle I do have back here is very, minimal. So it's just the entire time it was just tense. They're like, okay, we need you to move your hands down by your sides and tuck them under your hips. Oh my God. So like now I didn't have any bracing up here. I had to move these down here, and then all the pressure of everything is now on my head in this, like headrest. And it's understandable because, they need to be able to access the neck area. Okay, I get it. So one of the people in the room was like, okay, we're going to start putting some iodine on you. All right. And fun fact, today I learned that I'm allergic to iodine. So then the lady asked, do you have skin allergies? Yeah, like to dust and, stuff like that. And perfumes and cigarette smoke will break me out too. Just dumb stuff, cats, all that stuff. In addition to the nasal allergies and, the watery eyes and the swelling of the throat, my skin will also break out. She's like, yeah, because I'm putting this iodine on you, and you're turning really red. Which then led to being super itchy. And they put it from, like, up here all the way down, like halfway down my back. And they did 2, passes with it. Oh my gosh. So I'm laying there. Ow. Arms to the sides, ow, everything's ow, and now everything back here is itchy and aggravated. So yeah, today I learned I'm allergic to iodine. Yay. Another thing to add to the list. So then they have to let the iodine dry, and we're going to put some towels around you and over your head. This is when the claustrophobia started kicking in, because I am face down. The bed is like right here. And you're like in this headrest, facing down. So there's just this much room, like right here. And then they would put towels over the back of your head, and then on your here, and then down here. So it's like, again, I get it from a medical procedure standpoint, so I'm not like trying to be like, complaining about it. It was just it was very difficult, very difficult. So the doctor comes in and starts trying to talk to me. Again, he already talks fast. So fast that even like my ears can't follow, and I usually can do good with fast talkers. It kind of mutters too. I don't know, he's very strange. And keep in mind, I'm already face down in this headrest with towels over me. So everything is kind of like this. And then he's just like, I'm like, what? He's like, do you still want to go through with this? I'm like, yeah, stop asking me that. I get he has to. I get it. I do. But it's like, just get it over with. And then we start the procedure. This is called a medial branch block. It was cervical left and right. I think it was C something. But he doesn't have it down on here. So he asked, you want some medicine to relax you? Yes, please. They apparently gave me some. But I think people need to take into account that if you are in a very uncomfortable position, in more ways than one, literally, and your anxiety is skyrocketing, the normal doses aren't going to do much. So they give me what the nurses in the waiting area called happy juice, and procedure commenced. It is a thing where they put something in there, like poke something in there, like a camera or something, so they can have an image of what they're seeing on the screen, like almost like an X-ray kind of image on the screen. But holy hell, it was so painful because he injects the numbing agent, which again didn't do anything. Everything they were giving me didn't do anything. The happy juice never worked. They gave me 2 doses of it and it never worked. And the numbing agent didn't numb anything. I felt everything. Irritated that it didn't work, but also irritated in the notion that my mind goes back to, this is costing $4,000. This is part of the $4,000 that I'm paying for that was worthless. Might as well not giving it to me at all. So yeah, I'm paying for something that didn't work. In more ways than one on that too. Yeah, we're getting there. And he's like, yeah, we're gonna start. I'm like, all right, are you good? Not really. You wanna stop? Nope. And he puts something in there, and then he has to move it around to get the precise spot. But every time he would move it, it would just be like you feel it going in, and then you just feel it moving, and it's just ugh. And he's like, all right, we're injecting the numbing agent. That's what there was like a medial branch block. They'd inject like a numbing agent to see if that numbing the area will help with the pain receptors and stuff. He's like, you're gonna feel some pressure. Holy hell. Yeah. It was so just thinking about it. Ugh. And then same thing on the other side. Puts the thing in, has to fine tune it so you feel it moving around. Injects the numbing agent. You're going to feel a lot of pressure. Felt a lot of pressure. And then it was done. I don't know. Like, I didn't enjoy it. I just... And then after that, they wheeled me out to the waiting area. This is all a little hazy because I think the happy juice was finally kicking in, even though they took the IV out and everything. I think it was just like the stress had dropped enough that it was like, oh, okay. Like, they gave me some water, which I desperately wanted. And eventually I go change, put my clothes back on. Thank God. One of them asked something like, well, what are your plans when you get home? I'm like, I'm going to bed. And the other one's like, oh, no, you need to stay up for at least 4 hours because you need to fill out this pain diary. It's like every hour and rate your pain score, percentage of relief. Mine's 0.0000. So, yeah, it was not enjoyable. Everything up here hurts even more now because of all the pressure from laying in that stupid headrest and the awkward angle. I had to, like, even just tilting my head just a little bit. Just when you don't have neck muscle to support yourself, you feel every centimeter, and I've had to learn to adapt. When you have to move your head, like, lift it up, go like this, put it back down. It's like all this pressure right here, and that's just what I feel. I don't know what the benefit of doing it again would be. Mainly because the pain is up here. It's muscular. It's up here in the cranium. It hurts here too. Don't get me wrong, because like, when your spine bends like this, you have all this pressure. Like if this is your head and this is, the back of the spine, the back of the neck, and it's just mine curves like this. There's all this pressure here, so I get that. It doesn't feel like a significant difference enough to warrant doing it again, and certainly not enough to warrant putting something on my spine. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know if there's anyone that can help me now. I think I just might be stuck with this pain. I'll give it a couple days and go from there. But as of now, I don't foresee doing this anymore. He didn't want to prescribe any pain medication for me, so that was an avenue he was not interested in pursuing. So it just has that kind of air of the only methods I want to do are the ones that will benefit me the most and my pocketbook the most. Yeah, it has that vibe. It has that 2010-ish vibe that I felt with doctors where, I wasn't being listened to and it was all about monetary stuff. And granted, he doesn't come off as malicious as those people did back then. We'll see how I feel on the next one. The next one is at the end of the month on the 30th. My next thing is on Tuesday, on the 21st, where I will be going for the blood gas lab thing, which I'm really, really, really worried about, especially after this. And the CAT scan of my chest, which will probably show nothing wrong. And I have no idea what COVID did to me, because apparently it is like a freaking cloaking device in Star Trek that no one can see it, but it's there. Sucks. Like, what is going on here? What did this do? Why does this all feel weird? I don't know. I might be forgetting something. If I did, I will add it in this text like usual. I can't take a shower. That's something I forgot to say. You cannot take a shower for 24 hours after the procedure. I was getting ready for bed this morning, and I couldn't take it anymore. I asked Justin to come up and help me wipe off some of the iodine. Like, we kept it on in the spot up here. This is where they injected it, up here. And the iodine is still here. But, like, I tried to wipe it off of out of my hair and had Justin help me wipe it off because I can't reach that far. Because it was really itchy. Oh my God. Like, it just, the car ride home and trying to get it was not fun. But they're like, don't shower for 24 hours. And I'm like, oh my God, that sounds horrible. So I'm going to go try to distract myself from everything. And yeah, that was the medial branch block procedure I had done this morning. So I'll see you in the next update, which will probably be for the blood gas and then the CAT scan. So until then. Hello everyone, this is the next update for the month. Not doing too hot tonight. I am ready to go to the next appointment, which will be I don't want to think about it right now. It's just it's going to be a lot of not fun stuff to test my lungs and my blood, and yeah, it's just I'm not looking forward to it. So I won't talk about it right now. I just want to just get it out of the way. What I do want to talk about is that it looks like the second pain management surgery is off, which is good because the first one didn't do anything. It was a waste of money and time and driving an hour and a half there and an hour and a half back in a snowstorm. That wasn't fun. Well, it was a snowstorm on the way there, but I digress. I got a call from the pain management office 2 days after the procedure asking, how did it go? How do I feel? And I was honest. I was like, I didn't notice any change at all. She said that would constitute an unsuccessful procedure, so they would not be going ahead with the second one. Okay. She then said that this is usually followed by a consultation with a doctor and was trying to make a date for me. And I asked her if he could do a virtual visit since I live so far away. And she found one, made the date. So there we go. It's looking like it's off the table and I possibly have a virtual visit with a doctor. Maybe. I got a call that same day while I was asleep, and she's like, hey, there's this pain management guy in the town you live in. Call me back because we think you should see him. I tried to see him. He's the one that's only available for like 2 days out of the week because he's one of the traveling doctors. There's a lot of those. And he's only available those 2 days for patients from 2 to 4 in the afternoon, which, work thirds, that's very difficult to do. So I haven't called back yet, but I don't know. My instinct is just to drop it and then talk to the neurologist when I talk to him in a virtual visit in the beginning of February and go from there. Because if he doesn't want to see me because there's nothing else he can do for me, then what's the point? You know what I mean? That is the update, little mini update. I am very, very anxious right now because of the stuff I have to do today. I have 3 things back to back to back at the hospital starting in about an hour, and the closer it gets, the more stressed I get. And One of them doesn't sound so bad, but maybe it is, I don't know. The second one sounds awful, and that's what I'm scared of the most. It's just, nah. So I'm stressed. My asthma stuff is acting up bad. I can't use my inhaler before I go to these visits, so I haven't used it since around midnight, so that sucks. And the dizziness is kicking in big time. So fingers crossed it's not absolutely horrible, but it's just not going to be fun. So I'll see you in the next update after this. Just I can't wait to get to that spot where I'm doing the update after that. And then after this, that should be it for the month. Knock on wood, and I can not have to worry about anything else for 2 weeks. But we'll get there when we get there. That's it for now. I'll see you in the next update that I can't wait to do. So this will be all behind me. I'm at the hospital now. I am done. It was freaking horrible. I will go into details later on. I got a souvenir. But it was bad. It was bad. Really bad. Good news is I can finally feel my hands again. That gives you any clue. But I'll fill you in later on tonight, possibly. So, wait for Justin to pick me up. Normally I would wait outside for him, but it is like 4 degrees outside or something. It is stupid cold. Just walking from the car to the entrance, I didn't wear my gloves, so my hands like started burning. Not fun. Hello everyone, this is later in the evening from the last one. It is the video that I could not wait to get to prior to leaving for the hospital for the things this morning. And as nervous as I was, as stressed as I was about how bad it could be, honestly, it was a lot fucking worse. It was awful. Like, if I could have seen into the future and known that I would go through what I went through, I probably still would have went. I'm not going to be like super dramatic, man. But it was just not fun. It is currently 0 degrees here in Ohio. For everyone else in the world that doesn't use stupid math and methods of measuring something, it is about -17, -18 here, Celsius. It will get in the negatives here, Fahrenheit, tonight. It'll be the coldest night so far of the winter. I will be holed up in this room. My hands, they're already starting to kind of, yeah, they itch really bad. I'm trying not to scratch them because if I do, it's game over. These will look like Freddy Krueger's hands if I do. All right, I'm gonna grab my coffee because it's over there because I was doing weekly reset stuff and I got the coffee. Not my usual coffee, unfortunately. They are sold out because of course they are. My appointments were early. Like 7:30 and 8:30 respectively. They told me to be there by 7:15. I got there at 7 because you have to go through the registration process and get your wristband and all that. Walk in the hospital, it is dead. Nothing's open yet. It's at 7. And it was crazy. So I walked up to the little touch screen thing they have to sign yourself in, did that, sat down, was called to a booth. Not even a minute later. I thought I'd have to wait until everything opened. And then, yeah, I was done. She gave me paperwork and told me where to go and was super nice. Said, here, you will owe about $2,500 for this, for all the procedures that projected for the day. You want to pay that? And I'm still thinking, I'm like, who has that kind of money? Like, hats off if you do. My hat off, put some money in the hat, please. Like, good Lord. So I go back out to the car to sit with Justin for a little bit because I don't like being in hospitals if I don't have to be. So eventually go in, go to the cardiopulmonary spot, which was not the one I went to last time. That's in a building right next to the hospital. That's attached to the hospital. This is a different one. Signed in, sat down, got called back minutes later. Like, I was not there long at all. The lady says we're going to start with the arterial blood gas. If you don't know what that is, it is blood work where they draw blood, but instead of just drawing it from, any vein they can find, they have to draw it directly from an artery. So they have to draw it from the artery itself. Yeah, I was worried about it because just the thought of a needle, because like in my head, I'm thinking artery here. So I was really scared because obviously the wrist is very sensitive. The skin is very sensitive. A needle going in there, just, I didn't want it. I didn't want it. But luckily she did it up here. It is bruised a little, so I have a Band-Aid on it still. It is very sore. You'll find out why here in a sec. You sit in the chair, they put the thing down for you to put your arm on, and normally you can just like have your arm like just, kind of, I'll back up a little bit. Normally you can have your arm just kind of laying on the thing. You can just like do this, and they do whatever they need to do with my juicy veins, healthy veins. But not this one. This one you had to keep your arm like this, like taut. Keeping it taut was tough for me because I just had to like, you do this and you can see like the neck muscles tensing. That's what it was like. Just not fun. So she asks, do you want me to let you know when I'm going to do it or just do it? And I was like, please let me know. I don't know how anyone could just be like, poke me with a needle and take blood, but don't tell me when you're going to do it. Just surprise me. Like, I don't mind surprises, but there's a limit. Let me know so I can brace. Because not only am I having to be taught, every time I get blood drawn, I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't back up any farther. Like, I will hold the edge of the seat, just like this. Every time. IVs, blood work, everything. I don't like being poked. So she goes, okay, here we go. And she puts the needle in. I'm just like, like I make my noises, but this freaking hurt. Like, holy crap. And then I feel it stops. I thought she was done. Then I feel another poke. So I'm just bracing. And then as she is putting the needle in there, because this isn't like normal blood work. They put the thing in and then they put the little vials in and it fills up. And then they change the vials as much as they need to. This is actually a syringe that they put in, and she has to like draw the blood. It's like old school blood work. Oh, my throat. I have a lot more stories to go to. So this is going to be long, so I apologize in advance. This part of the video is going to be a little longer. But stay tuned, because holy crap. If you ever have to do these, here's what you'll be in store for. So yeah, she did this, I felt the second poke, and then I felt the needle moving, just moving inside there. And I'm just like, ow, 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 ow. And she's like, she's saying, I'm sorry. And she stops and she's like, and I look down and the syringe has no blood in it. And granted, she'd been doing this for like 30 to 45 seconds, nonstop of needle in, moving it around, just the whole thing. And she says, I don't know why this is happening. This has never happened. And I was like, well, what's going on? Like, why are we not done? That's what I was thinking. But I actually know what's going on. She's like, I can't find the artery to get the blood. But granted, I said, with veins, it's regular veins, it's much easier. With your artery, it's trickier. And I knew that going in. At this point, I had my winter hoodie on and, my stocking cap, and I am burning up. Because I am so stressed, and the anxiety and the pain and just all of it, that I am just really woozy. So I asked her, I was like, can I please, get up and take my coat off and take my hoodie off and take my hat off. I had a cotton ball here because it was bleeding. It was bleeding. It wasn't like, but it was, yeah, I'm not good with blood. It was not nice. So I'd hold it while I was trying to undo my hoodie and take my hat off and everything. Finally got it. So I sit back down, and in my head I'm like, please don't make her have to pull from the wrist, because now I knew what the pain of the needle felt like going in here. I didn't want to feel that here. Oh my gosh. Not just the needle going in, but the digging, moving feeling as she was trying to get to the vein. And she repeated it a couple times. She's like, I've never had trouble finding the vein before. I don't I don't know what's going on. I told her, it's me. Shit like this happens to me all the time. I'm cursed. I'm cursed. People like to think I'm not. And I've said before, Justin has been with me almost 10 years. The man can attest to that I am absolutely cursed. He wants to find the Jewish version of an exorcist to get rid of the creature that's attached to me. I'm sitting there telling her that it's me. It's just, it's me. It sucks. Knowing she's have to go do it again, and I'm like, just please work. Because, so she goes for a third poke, and I'm just like bracing. And she puts the needle in, and boom, she got it, and it filled up with blood. She was able to do it, and it was a good 5 to 10 minutes of just awfulness. And I am so just like, which I always am after any kind of blood work or IVs or whatever. And she asks, do you know if your veins roll? I'd never heard of that before. I was like, I'm not sure. She says, yeah, sometimes when you're going for it, the veins will just kind of like, if this is the vein and the needle's going, it'll just like move out of the way. Like, no. And she says, yeah, if you ever get anything like this done again, let them know that your veins roll. Because when she took the needle out after 2 tries, she's feeling, right? Because she's trying to find a better artery, entry point for the 3rd attempt. And she's like, right there it is. That's exactly where I tried. I don't know what's going on. And in my head, I'm just like, it's me. So it was done. And I hope to never have it done again. The second thing I had done in the same room, this is all done in the same room, was called a PFT, a pulmonary function test. Basically, it is a circular booth that you have to sit in. And there are a series of different breathing things you have to do that are measured, through all these attachments that go to a computer and all that stuff. So I sit in the booth. You have to put these clamps on your nose because you can only breathe through your mouth because obviously it's measuring your lungs. So I put these clamps on, and you have to do these a set of breathing things. And she told me what to do, what it would be like, and then to do it. I'm gonna go through them. I'm gonna go over them with you, and describe the experience. Because holy crap. And keep in mind, I am still extremely tense and stressed out and, dizzy and the whole 9 from what I just went through, in addition to what I already am going through. So the first one, you sit in the machine, there's this big thing in front of you with like a tube you put your mouth over. But it's like tube's like this big, not like tiny tube, it's like that big, and you put your mouth on it. The first one is breathe normally. And then when she prompts me, I'd inhale as deeply as I could, which is tough. And then exhale normally, but exhale until you can't exhale anymore. Here's the problem. I exhaled, and she's saying continue to exhale. There was no more air in my lungs. So I would be exhaling, and I would have to breathe. And she's like, we have to start over. And you had to do this 2 times in a row. So if you did the first one correctly and messed with the second one, you had to start all over again. I had to do this 3 times. I'd start over 3 times. Because I would inhale, and then exhale, and then there's nothing left. I'm like, what? So what I had to kind of do was exhale, tighten my lungs, hold my breath. There was no breath for me to hold, but just does that make sense? Instead of exhaling, continue to exhale, I just kind of it's holding your breath. It's if that makes any sense. Exhale and then hold it. So you're not exhaling anymore, but you can't inhale and you can't really talk. That's what I had to end up doing every time. She was like, I need you to exhale all the air. I'm like, there is no air. I have no air left. I can't exhale what I don't have. And she was super nice about all of it. She was very, very professional and very accommodating. Now, all this stuff is going on, right? My hands are starting to tingle. I'm doing this. I'm like, it's That weird, like, it didn't feel good. For the second one, you get locked in the booth. So it's like I said, it's a circular booth with a door that slides open, almost like those circular showers. And she asks, "Are you claustrophobic?" Yes, I am. She shuts it because this time I had to breathe in and then exhale like a dog panting, so like that. But while you're doing that, she presses a button that shuts off the airflow to the thing you're breathing into, but it shuts off the airflow, but you have to keep panting. There's no air. And then she opens it again, and then that's that. Here's the thing about that. This one wasn't as hard as the other one because I didn't have to like exhale invisible air. This one was tough because when she shuts off the, like this, I forget what she called it, but it's like a thing that falls into place that stops the airflow. So when she shuts off the airflow, you're still breathing in small, tiny breaths. When she shuts it off, there's no air to breathe in. The first time freaked me out because I never really wanted to experience, but never really had experience what actual suffocation is like when there's actually no air for you to breathe. You can hold your breath to mimic it, but it's not the same. This was absolutely freaky because when she shuts the thing, cuts off the air, you're trying to pant, but there's no air. There's no air going in, so it's like just that immediate panic. It was freaky as hell. It might not sound bad, but it was just so freaking weird. It was like, imagine someone like plugged your nose and covered your mouth and then told you to pant. Having to breathe with absolutely no airflow, no air to breathe, was a very, very just creepy experience. And I had to do that 6 times. It's just, it was such a awful, creepy feeling. Yeah. So after this one, my hands were shaking. They were also tingly. My chest was starting to hurt. And my legs were starting to feel funny. And I was very vocal during the whole process to let her know what was going on. And I apologize if I was being a big baby. But after that, I got to take 4 hits of the albuterol inhaler. And it was done through this nifty contraption here that she let me have. I'm probably being charged $500 for it. It's probably $10 on Amazon. The one positive that came out of today is I got a nifty little inhaler device. So I did that 4 times. Like she gave me, no, she had to do it. Like I wasn't allowed to do it, so I would have to hold it. Did the inhaler, inhale it in. I had to hold it for 10 seconds, which was tough. Then exhale, and then take about a 30-second to minute break, and then do it again. My throat was getting really scratchy. All right. The third thing I had to do was also with the door closed. I had to breathe normally and then inhale as fast as I could. And then when she said, now exhale as hard as I could and then blow all of the air out, including the invisible breaths, which, again, this one was tough because my lungs were so from all of it so far and all the stress and everything and all the tingly and just shaking and all of it, that it was getting harder to do the things. Like I could breathe in and breathe out, but it was a lot more specific that I'm kind of, because she was like, inhale as fast as you can, exhale as fast as you can. So you're basically almost kind of hyperventilating yourself. Problem is my lungs were starting to get, weighed down upon because of it more than they already had been. And I was having a hard time doing it. So when I would exhale as hard as I could, even though I had the clamp on my nose, I could feel the air coming through my nasal passage. And it would like move the clamp a little bit, which signaled the machine that I had taken a breath. If you take a breath, you have to start over. That sucks. So it was breathe normally, inhale in, exhale out, blow all the air out, exhale all the invisible air out, which was pretty much just me holding my breath. Well, holding the exhale until she said okay, until the machine went beep. I had to redo that 10 times. So what I had to do is I was like, can I please just hold the clamp with my hand while I breathe in? And she said, okay. And then thankfully, holding the clamp in, I was able to focus completely on the breathing part, and I was able to get it done. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. After that one, I had to take a break because I was shaking so badly, and I was so freaking dizzy and lightheaded. These were tough. I'm trying to calm down. The tingling is now just like everywhere. I'm just like super shaky. The last one I had to do was a redo of the breathe normally, inhale as deep as you can, exhale all the air out, and then you push all the invisible air out. So it was a redo of the first one we did. You go back to the first one after everything you'd been through to measure. It's like a bookend kind of thing. Eventually do that. Sucked. It sucked. The entire visit was not enjoyable. So, yeah, I gingerly stand up, put my coat on, and I don't feel like I'm doing this justice with what happened. I wish I could have recorded it. To show you. It was rough. But yeah, put my coat on, grabbed my stuff. She gave me the little contraption. I thanked her for her patience. And I hope that I wasn't too much of a big baby and a pain in the butt. And she was like, no, thank you for being patient with me. I was like, and it's a two-way street there. But as far as the experience with the blood gas, 0 out of 10, would not recommend. Unless your veins don't roll, then, you know what, probably have a good time. The PFT breathing test, 4 out of 10. I would do it again if I had to, but I would know what to expect this time. So the last procedure I had at the hospital, because I was back to back to back, was a CT scan of my lungs. I asked her, I was like, do you have to inject any kind of dye into me? She said no. I was like, thank God. Because the last one I had, they had to inject a dye into me, which was really weird feeling. CT scans versus MRIs. As MRI, you're in a tube, and I hate it. It sucks. CT scan is just like a donut, and they just take you to wherever part of the body they need to scan, which I really wish MRIs were like that. MRIs can give me legit panic attacks. I don't like them. Yeah, I just had to inhale, hold it until the machine said exhale, and then exhale. And I had to do that 3 times. And that was it. The CT scan was a nice, like, bow. Oh my gosh, my throat is really, really scratchy. I wanted to record this while it was all very fresh, before my brain fog stuff kicked in. If I forget any details, I'll add them in as text like always. And then I recorded the videos that you'd seen already at the hospital. And yeah, came home. Took me about 2 hours. Like, I was already past my bedtime. But it took me 2 hours after that when I got home to just de-stress enough to even give the sleepiness a chance to overtake the pain, which is always hard in and of itself. But it was extra hard today. But yeah, I woke up today and my arm is super tender here. There's a small bruise under the Band-Aid. So that's the update for this just traumatic, awful experience. So yeah, I think the last thing I have for the month, knock on wood, is the virtual visit with the pain doctor, but I don't know if that's going to be a thing still, as I said before earlier in another video. We'll see. But knock on wood, this is the only major thing left for this month. And then February, I have the virtual visit with the neurologist, and then the redo of the upper GI, which is going to be just really, not looking forward to it. And then after that, I don't know. We'll see what the results from this are, and just go from there. Like, even during the one breathing test where I had to inhale in and exhale out as fast as I could, as hard as I could, she's like, I need you to inhale and exhale as hard as you can. And I was like, I'm trying. I am really trying. Because I couldn't exhale out as fast as she wanted me to. And inhaling in, it both are just difficult for me. But doing them back to back just was tough. It was all tough. But yeah, if you ever have to have a arterial blood gas, hopefully yours goes better. And if you have a PFT, now you know what to expect. Hopefully you can do better because your lungs aren't just ravaged by God knows what. But I'm going to go try and take my mind off how woozy and lightheaded I feel and how much my throat hurts from talking. So I'll see you in the next one. If there is a next one, assume if I do the virtual visit, that'll be the next video. If not, this will be the last video for the month. And yeah, if this is the last video, thank you for checking this out as I navigate the healthcare system with my mystery problems. Yeah, it's tough. I'm kind of tired of having things that no one can tell me what's wrong with me. And yeah. Hello everyone. This is the final update. My dry throat is already kicking in. The final update for January 2025. I had my virtual visit with the pain management doctor this morning. Well, technically yesterday morning, actually. And we are going to schedule something called an occipital block, which, unlike the block they did down here, it's going to be injections directly into the occipital nerves. There's like 3 of them. And that's where the pain mostly is in that occipital area. We're going to try and see if it can be done here in town. There is a doctor that travels to here, but I think it's the same one that I've been talking about that is only here like 2 days a week for a couple hours. We'll see though. Fingers crossed it can be done here. So just waiting to hear back from him to schedule it and see what happens, whether we need to travel to the long distance to do it or here. He gave me options. He said, you know, you have options. You have 1, do nothing. 2, occipital block thing. 3, you can try some kind of metal device they put on your spine. And I'm like, that's a big leap of faith to take for a lot of invasive surgery. I don't know about that yet. And 4, he said, seek other avenues by talking to the neurosurgeon, who I talked to in about 5 days. Beginning of February, I have the neurosurgeon and the second upper GI surgery, which means no eating for 24 hours before it. That sucks. But we'll cover that when we get there. It's one of those things I cannot wait to get behind me. And yeah, right now, as of right now, there are 3 things going on in February. And I have been doing some deep thinking about the channel and how to approach things, because I don't know what to do. Because I was going to make this a separate video, but I'll let you know right now, I've gotten another copyright strike from BBC again. 4 times the charm in saying this. Once again, I'm at 2. I get 1 more, my channel's done. It's getting incredibly frustrating. These are videos that are years old. It's just, I don't know what to do. I am thinking about starting a backup channel and re-uploading everything sans reactions and just keeping the full reactions on Patreon, just to have something backed up just in case. But we'll see. So yeah, this light is triggering. Like I have sensitivity to light, so I don't know. I'm standing right beside it. That's kind of dumb. Let's go in this room. Holy crap! So, okay, it's like bright light triggers my allergies. My need to sneeze, I guess. Okay, that's all for this month. I'll see you next month, and hopefully we have some kind of something. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. If you watched all of this, thank you very much. And thank you for sticking with me. And I will see y'all next month. And I have a lot of soul searching to do about the channel and what to do about it. Because, once again, my head's on the chopping block for, I think, the 7th time since I've started it. So, yeah. Fingers crossed I don't get another copyright strike in the next 90 days. All right.